Everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsignnews.com. This is a slightly new look for NoDQ&A video after 4 years, but it is the same content, same format. I will be answering your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift. That is the place to submit questions for future editions of NoDQ&A video. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions here, answering them straight off of twitter.com/AaronRift. First one today comes from YRBYTUUBA. The format may change, but the usernames stay just as confusing to pronounce. What do you think about the current TNA versus GFW storyline? I think TNA puts up better shows, even better than NXT right now. To quote Booker T, tell me you did not just say that. With all due respect to TNA, I do feel while the shows have been improving, I don't feel that TNA has really made any kind of significant process in a very long time. And as far as this TNA versus GFW storyline goes, not really a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I feel that it just reeks of desperation. It feels like TNA has no idea what to do to get more people watching the shows on Destination America. So they came up with this storyline, and I personally do not get emotionally invested in this storyline because TNA is such a damaged brand that I don't care about TNA, and GFW hasn't really established themselves as a brand. And because of that, the same thing applies. I don't care about GFW as a brand. And I do not care about this inter-promotional war. And the fact that they're rushing it so quickly, one week you have Jeff Jarrett coming out and basically saying that it was all done to further GFW and get them on the map. That's why they're doing this whole invasion angle, and Jeff Jarrett's frustrated that he was ran out of TNA. And the next week, they're already setting up a big match where the winner takes all and the losers will go away. So to me, it just feels so rushed and like a hotshot angle that they're doing to try and desperately attract attention. That's just how I see it. And also the booking of some of their angles, like the tag team title match where the GFW guys cashed in the Feast or Fired briefcase. And the Wolves were the champions defending, and they had the match won. They each had the submission holds on the other guys, and then you had them break the submission holds because of guys on the outside trying to interfere. But if it's a DQ, you retain your title, so why do you break the submission hold? Just made no sense to me, made the Wolves look like dumbasses. Just wasn't a fan of it, and not a fan of the whole storyline in general. There's nothing new to it, and the stuff that they are doing just doesn't have very much impact on Impact Wrestling, of all things. Alright, this one comes from MRYUKK. Comic Wasteland. Really? Really? How many three-man stables must we have? Your thoughts? I am just so tired of the Stardust gimmick, as I've mentioned in several videos over the past couple months. So for WWE to just keep this going, I'm really tired of it. I really feel that the Stardust gimmick should end. WWE has nothing for the Ascension, which is unfortunate, but pairing them with Stardust, I mean, come on. Just let it end already. I'm so tired of it, and I totally agree with the people that shake their heads at this. I feel the same exact way. Wish WWE would just drop the Stardust gimmick already, but if he's hell-bent on doing it, he's going to keep doing it. Cody Rhodes. If he wants to keep doing Stardust, nobody's going to stop him. The fans aren't going to stop him. The company's not going to stop him. If he enjoys doing it, then he's going to keep doing it. So whatever. Alright, this one comes from @Josh_himself. Hey Aaron Riff, do you think Tamina will catch a bad rap because of her father recently being arrested? Please answer in video. No, because the whole Jimmy Snuka scandal has been going on for decades. There's been controversy surrounding Jimmy Snuka for a very long time, and everyone in the wrestling business has known about that incident, and that at one time he was a suspect, and there was always the possibility that he could be charged with a crime. So people knew about this. WWE knew about this when they hired Tamina. I don't think Jimmy Snuka being in the headlines is going to change anything. As I mentioned before in previous videos, Tamina has been in a certain spot on the Divas roster. She's been somewhere in the middle. She was never pushed super strong. And I think regardless of Jimmy Snuka and what's going on with him, I do not see that changing. I think she'll continue to be one of the Divas. She'll have somewhat of a significant role. But that'll be it. That'll be the extent of it. I don't see her being pushed or de-pushed as a result of Jimmy Snuka. Alright, this one comes from @DaHarrisHere. Who would you like to see Kevin Owens feud with? Would you like to see him feud with Daniel Bryan when he comes back? And would you and Jeff Meacham do a TNA Top 10? Regarding the TNA Top 10 of what? Best TNA matches? I could tell you the triple threat, Samoa Joe versus AJ versus Daniels. That was one of the greatest matches of all time in TNA. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe at the Lockdown pay-per-view. The cage match with Elix Skipper doing the walk on top. But doing a top 10, I don't even know if I could think of 10 really excellent TNA matches. I guess anything that had AJ Styles in it, pretty much. I mean, at some point, maybe we could do a TNA video, do a best of TNA video. Maybe it'll last 5 minutes. Just kidding. You know, they had some good moments. TNA had some good moments in their early years. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that we could possibly do in the future, if there's enough demand for it. If you guys want to see a top TNA video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Regarding Kevin Owens feuding with Daniel Bryan, I'd love to see it. I think that would be a tremendous feud, and the two of them, I believe, had some matches in PWG and Ring of Honor back in the day. I would love to see Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan in a WWE ring. I think that they would tear the house down. Daniel Bryan comes back soon. That would be a perfect feud for him, because Kevin Owens plays the role of a bully really well. Daniel Bryan plays the role of an underdog real well. And I think that they would just they would have tremendous chemistry against each other. All right, this one comes from Beast Slayer @ISayWhatever666. What do you think of a potential Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman match down the line? To be honest, not really a fan of it. Braun Strowman, he looks like he has a little bit of potential as the new member of the Wyatt family, but at least at this point, I just don't think he's going to be taken seriously enough as a monster. Number one, I don't have confidence in WWE's booking of him, and number two, you know, a number of people have mentioned online that they feel he doesn't really have that much of a tough guy look. He kind of has like this baby face look to him. He looks like a guy you want to give a big hug to. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to kill you necessarily. So I just don't know. If he really caught on as a monster in WWE and then they pushed him hard and he worked really good matches and the crowd was getting into him, maybe sometime down the line. Right now, I think it's a long shot, but anything can happen, and if he catches fire, then sure, put him in there with Brock Lesnar. But I think it's really too early to tell if he'll get to that level to where it would be a good marketing decision to put Brock Lesnar in there with Braun Strowman. He's just not established as a brand name yet. He still has a ways to go. Alright, this one also comes from Beast Slayer. What are your thoughts on the Jimmy Snuka situation, and what actions do you think WWE will take? Well, they are already taking actions, the predictable actions. They removed him from the Hall of Fame website, and they're removing the references to him pending the outcome of the case. If he's acquitted of the charges, then I think that they will reintegrate him into the WWE brand as far as the website and the video packages and all that stuff. And they suspended his Legends deal, so they did all the stuff that I figured they would do, the same stuff they did with Hulk Hogan. WWE's trying to avoid the negative publicity as much as possible. So that's how it's going to be right now. If Jimmy Snuka is convicted of a crime, if he's convicted of manslaughter, then we might not see too many clips of Jimmy Snuka in the future in WWE. Will they remove him from the Hall of Fame? They haven't removed anybody yet, so we'll just have to see if WWE at some point decides to start removing people from the Hall of Fame. Time will tell if they do it. They haven't done it with Hogan yet, but anything's possible, and you know, we'll have to wait and see if they end up going that far. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they'll go that far, but if somebody murdered somebody, then I could see that person being removed from the Hall of Fame. But in Jimmy Snuka's case, you know, maybe this will be the extent of what they do, what they've done already. All right, this one comes from another one from Matt B. Slayer. Man, he sent a lot of questions. Do you think Mark Henry should go into the Hall of Fame next year? I think that next year in Texas would make sense because it's Mark Henry's home state, and if the rumors are true, there's been speculation that he is coming close to the point of retiring. He hasn't really had that much of a role on WWE television as of late. It does seem like his career is starting to wind down, and once he is retired from wrestling, I see him going into the Hall of Fame. He was a part of WWE for a very long time. I mean, over 2 decades, almost 2 decades now, actually. Yeah, going on about 19 years now, Mark Henry in WWE. That's a very long time. So I do think he will go into the Hall of Fame just because of his longevity with the company. It wasn't like he was an all-time great, not an all-time great champion or all-time great draw, but the fact that he was with the company for so long, I could see him going in. Texas would make a lot of sense. So next year, I think is a possibility. But if he's going to keep wrestling for a couple more years, they may hold off on it. So who knows? All right, last question today comes from Big Ryan at RJ Beasley 78. Hey Aaron, why in the hell did Sting have to put over Triple H on Raw? Is this just another way for WWE to stick it to WCW? Probably. I mean, I really don't know the reason why the storyline had to be built around Triple H. Why could it not have been Sting just simply wanting to accomplish the one thing he has never accomplished, and that's win the WWE title? Why could that not be the emphasis of the storyline? I really don't know. Why did they have to make it about Triple H? Why did they have to make the storyline about Seth Rollins? Now, I get the idea that Sting wants to get Seth Rollins upset. He wants to piss off Seth Rollins and create dissension between Seth Rollins and Triple H. That at least makes sense, but it just comes off like they're trying to make Triple H the star of the storyline, and maybe WWE's not confident enough in Sting and his legacy and his backstory to make the emphasis about him. They feel that they have to make it about Triple H in order to attract the interest of your casual WWE viewer. That could very well be why they're doing it. I wish they would just make it about Sting and him trying to do the one thing that he's never done, and that's win the WWE title. But they still have a few weeks left until Night of Champions, and you know, we'll have to see how they continue to build up the storyline. But I'm guessing the eventual plan is going to be Triple H versus Seth Rollins. This is something that has been speculated on for months now. There's been talk about Triple H versus Seth Rollins as a major storyline, and one would think eventually there will be a split between the two of them and Seth Rollins will feud with Triple H. But I just wish that it would not dominate the storyline between Sting and Seth Rollins. I hope that WWE will show footage of Sting and do video packages. I mean, that's one of the things that WWE does best, and that can showcase Sting and use the video packages and the WCW tape library to help put over Sting to the younger audience that may not be familiar with him, and, you know, make it clear to those people why it's so important and why it's so significant for Sting to be competing for the WWE title. So I hope they do that, and I just hope that the whole storyline doesn't end up being about Triple H and Sting is just a secondary character. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. If you enjoy the new format, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. As I mentioned at the beginning, submit your questions to twitter.com/AaronRift. And if you enjoyed today's video and you would like to support me or the videos or the website, go to ProWrestlingTees.com and search NoDQ. You can grab an official NoDQ.com t-shirt or an official NoDQ&A video t-shirt like this one. Or you can go on the link that I have in the description box. With that being said, I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.